Hey, what's good, chat? Oh, oh god. All right, we're on the closing in. Almost done. My boy Edgeworth is back. I genuinely don't remember anything that happened other than we accused the manager of the murder. Though she claimed that she didn't do it. But we did prove some interesting things. I do remember now. I'm in the continue menu, so. I'm trying to think. Do I got anything? I mean, Evo's been going on. Well, I haven't actually been watching a lot of like the Evo streams they've been doing. The like MA, like qualifier stuff. I think is what they've been doing. Oh, maybe finals for the online side of things. I don't know. I watched Uni. At least I watched like the finals for Uni. It's really nice to see Byakuya win. I do like Byakuya. Probably one of my favorite characters in Under 9, even though I don't play him because he is hard. But I think he's cool, and I want to play him at some point, but unfortunately I've not played Uni in a very long time. Back that code, man. Go back that code. But still, we're here. We're rocking the Ace Attorney. As I said yesterday, for anyone that doesn't know, chances are we'll probably, assuming things go as I expect them to, which is today being basically just all investigation, and then tomorrow being our final trial. Because to my knowledge, that's the case. Once we're done with... once we're done with... Yeah. We have investigation for today, and then we have the trial, and that's the end. That is it. So we're gonna have to investigate probably the hotel again, talk to some people, have a good time, and then that'll probably be it for the day. I assume it's going to be a pretty long investigation period. So, and then tomorrow we'll do the trial, and once the trial's done, that's the game. That's the final case of this one. So then, assuming it goes as I expect it to, Thursday we'll probably just play Strive rather than start Ace Attorney 3 immediately, and then I'll start Ace 3 on Tuesday next week. And then, as is always the case with the limbo of Saturday, Sunday streams, I'd like to, but I don't know. It always ends up being I want to do it, but then I'm just like really tired and just don't feel like it anymore. But still, I'll try to get something going with that as soon as possible. Otherwise, let's get into it. We'll try to turn justice for all. Then we hit the trials and tribulations with what is honestly probably my favorite prosecutor of the three. I guess technically we have had 4, right? 5. Well, no, we've had 4. We'll have 5 in the next game when we get the new guy, right? Because we've had the dumb one, Mr. Payne, who is always losing to us. Edgeworth, obviously, Manfred von Karma, and Franziska von Karma. So we've had 4 prosecutors. But we might hit 5. Well, we will hit 5. Anyways. Maybe 6. I actually don't know. I don't know a lot about the other than that. Other than who the prosecutor is. We're on March 22nd, 5:24 p.m. Rent call offices. Hey there, Pearls. I can't take it anymore. Look, it'll be alright. Everything may still work out. The condition was that we had to get a not guilty verdict. And so far, the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt my end. And he won't, because Mr. On Guard hasn't been given a guilty sentence yet. Cheer up. We don't have to stand around. We don't have time to stand around crying. We have to get going. You're right. Mr. Maya is in much more pain than I am. Yeah, that's right. So... Hey, you guys! Glad I caught you, pal. Mr. Scruffy Detective? Oh boy. Looks like Detective Gumshoe has been dubbed Mr. Scruffy Detective in Pearl's book now. Hey, it's just a plain old Mr. Dick Gumshoe. Now I can't talk to you, pal. Oh, we're kind of busy right now. Well, what do you gotta talk to me about? So, what are you gonna do from now on? What do you mean, pal? Well, you've been fired, right? So, do you have a new job lined up yet? Oh, that? What am I supposed to do now, pal? I don't have anything coming in at all until my next payday. What are you talking about? You don't have another payday? I guess that means I'm just gonna have to work here at your place, pal. Say what? You'll be searching for things that will prove Mr. Ongar's innocence all day, right? Well, yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna help you, pal. I've got lots of experience in investigating and watching over people's places. I'm great at making really simple meals, pal. I'll take care of it all. Come on, Mr. Nick. Let's let Mr. Scruffy Detective take care of it. Okay. By the way, what's your best dish? It's the noodles, pal. Why am I surrounded by people who only eat cheap, unhealthy foods? There's nothing wrong with that. That was the first time I've ever seen Mr. Edgeworth act like that. Never thought he'd say something like he didn't care if Mr. Andrews killed himself. He said that? That's horrible. But because of him doing that, he got the truth finally. The truth? Andrew's last testimony. I wonder if that was the truth. I'll give you that there was nothing strange in her testimony itself, but I still think there's something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing. You mean about that thing, pal? Why would she want to... No, I mean almost need to frame Mr. Ongar. I couldn't figure that out from anything she said all day. And you're saying that testimony was a lie? Not a lie per se, just feels like there's more here than meets the eye. Or it's what Edgeworth would like us to believe. That's such a dirty trick. Even that one prosecutor was better than that. Francisca von Karma. Speaking of Miss von Karma, do you have any more information on her condition? Wasn't she shot this morning? I'm curious. Miss von Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by a pistol, pal. But she's going to be fine, right? I mean, Edgeworth said she was in stable condition, but... Well, she was shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. It should be done taking the bullet out, so she's probably resting at the hospital. Which one? Why, do you go to visit her, pal? No, well, just kind of thinking about it. Hey, look, she got a heart, don't you? She looked like she was being tortured to death not being able to go to the trial today. Maybe it'd be good for her if you went and let her whip you for a bit, pal. But let her whip us, Mr. Nick. No, I'm definitely not going. Let's see. The name of the hospital. Oh yeah, the Hottie Clinic. The name sends a chill down my spine. Well, guess I can't have to stop by and say hi. Alright, well. I guess... the Hottie Clinic. We've been here before. We've talked to Dr. Hottie. Was it actually the previous trial? Yeah, no, the previous trial was the circus, so no, it was the one before that. It was the first actual trial. I thought I'd never come back to this place. Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? Hi. Wait a second. You're... yes, I'm Dr. Hottie. Oh! Why are you still here? Yes, what is it? Can I help you? You can tell. Director Hottie. Oh, hi. Edgeworth? Yes, I'm Dr. Hottie. Oh. Oh, you're the man from this morning. Yes. What is it? Uh-huh. Director, Francisca. That was Francisca von Karma. You don't need to worry. Yes, she's in good hands. Because you see, I've personally taken good care of her. Yes. Yes, and that thing, that surgery, it went well. You have my gratitude. It looks like Edgeworth doesn't know that this director is secret. She looks so pitiful, absolutely terrified. Yes. But I understand. Yes, her opponent was a god after all. And when I stuck up on a real secret life, she would scream really loudly. Yes. I see. But she's pretty cute too. When I do that, she'd whip me with her whip. Boy, did I cry like a baby. Yes. But I think I could get used to it. Go back to your room. You're so mean. So mean. My frisky Friska. That's good. Okay. Yes. Hey, it's time for my IV drops. Yes. And what are those tulips doing in your hand, Mr. Phoenix, right? No, I shouldn't have come here. Oh, look at her, so cute! I was shot in front of the courthouse in my right shoulder. That's no big deal. This sort of thing happens all the time. I had full intentions of running this trial this morning. But that would have been too much for you. There's no need to act tough in front of us, you know. Regardless, I was dragged here by Batman over there. And so in yielding, one has to wonder if he was simply interested in stealing my case. It was the only logical course of action, given the bolt was still lodged in your shoulder. But by taking over the case, I found myself having to clean up after you and that irresponsible deal you made. I think I know what deal he's referring to. Miss Fun Karma, you made a deal with Miss Andrews yesterday, didn't you? I don't know what you mean. In order to make sure you got your guilty verdict on Mr. On Guard, you told Miss Andrews to not testify in court today. I don't know what you're talking about. If proof that I made such a deal? You're denying it? But you were lucky, Mr. Phoenix, right? If I'd been in court today, the trial would already be over. All while hiding Miss Andrews' own crime? That isn't my problem, whether she had tampered with the evidence or not. I have only one objective, to find On Guard guilty of murder. The ends justify the means, Mr. Phoenix, right? The end justifies the means. Miss Von Karma. Adrian Andrews believed you when you said, if you don't tell the truth of what really happened, then On Guard will be found guilty. What does that have to do with me? Because of that, she is now in danger of being found guilty herself. Well, because she believed in your words until the very end. It is true. This has nothing to do with me. She's just a weak person, that's all. But you had to know she was... I think visiting hours here are about over. Excuse me. What's wrong? Why did she suddenly cut you off? Probably because she thinks I had the advantage in that argument. That's... What happened today in the trial, Edgeworth? It was not like you at all. I mean, I know you knew about Miss Andrews' condition. You could have made her testify as many times as you wanted, but to go that far? But she wouldn't testify about that until I said something. Listen, the courtroom is a garden of judgment. I'm putting myself on the line when I stand. And that's why I made the witness do the same. Fully natural. I don't know about that. By the way, Edgeworth, you were really angry in court today. That's rare for you. Witness that card! Give it to me. Hurry. Do you have any idea what you've stupidly and inadvertently done? This... I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. That card? What in the world is it? Do you mean this? Listen, right. This is top secret information. You absolutely cannot leak this. The Special Investigations Team has existed for a number of years, but few know of it. I understand. Their task is to find the owner of this card, a man called Shelly D. Killer. And just as his name states, he is a killer, an assassin, the best at that. An assassin? Picture card entered the court record. D. Killer? Huh, where have I heard that name before? So, who is this Shelly D. Killer? D. Killer is the name of a long-standing line of assassins. Long-standing? The name first appeared about 100 years ago, I hear. Shelly is the professional name of the third heir to the D. Killer name. So, because his professional name is Shelly, he leaves cards with a shell on them. He has a habit of making sure to leave a card by the body of his victims. Why would he do something like that? You think it is part of his duty to his clients. His duty? He leaves a card, then his clients can be assured it was he who killed the victim. It also serves as an insurance against any charges being pushed onto his clients. I see. The killer values the trust between his clients and himself above all else. Means that this is one honorable assassin with a moral conscience. Who said even honorable assassins can exist? So, you think this assassin, you think he's the one who did the killing in this case? It would appear that way. Discovery of this card basically confirms it, wouldn't you agree? Actually, the killer, huh? I noticed something in the trial today. He's behaving in a very strange manner. Is something the matter? I guess I should just tell him. Maya, she's been kidnapped. Kidnapped? What does this kidnapper want? An acquittal. I see. I had no idea. Prepare a rescue team as soon as possible and resolve this by tomorrow. Really? Did you hear that, Mr. Nick? Mr. Edgeworth is gonna... Stop trying to console me, Edgeworth. I don't need your pity. Mr. Nick? There's no way we can find her. There's no way you can find her. We don't even have a single lead to go on. There's only one way to save her. I have to get an acquittal somehow. It's the only way. Right, listen. You need to know something. One Karaida was killed by Shelly the Killer. And the client who ordered the job is mad on God. Your own client. Please stop. I can't listen to you. I can't believe that. I see. Well, to continue your investigation, you will need this. What is it? The hotel right now is restricted to police personnel only, as we are looking for any clues that might lead us to Shelly the Killer. But if you take this with you to the hotel, I'm sure they will let you enter. Your introduction is before record. In any case, I must attend to the preparations for Maya's rescue team. We'll meet again if anything should happen. But, excuse me. Mr. Nick? Do you think Mr. Ungard hired an assassin? No way! Doesn't have a psych law. Yeah, I guess not. Maya. Please. All I ask is you make it home safe and sound. Oh, how nice. Date? Time? Location? Yeah, I guess even kidnappers could be a little clumsy. You didn't have to drop a card like this for me. Even though he said he wasn't an assassin, I think he's just making that up, like how Nick does with everything in court. Hey, listen here, Maya! Don't slander my name without me there! Anyway, let's try out the card. Or the card trick with the card I just found. Looks like I got the door open. Okay, time to go take a look around. Okay. A saddle dish? What is this place? I've got a feeling I'm not in the hotel anymore. Those videos over there? Well, I'll tell you about that later. Now I should be looking for clues. That way I can show them to Sis and maybe get out of here. Why is there a teddy bear? That's weird. It's a figurine thing on a sofa in a place like this. I think it's a bear? Oh, how cute! But it's got a lot of cuts and slits on it. I wonder if it's some kind of puzzle or something. That's interesting. What's a faint picture sitting on this coffee table? Picture of a woman. She's kind of pretty. Hey, looks like something's written here. Let's see. I think it says, "With love, Celeste." I bet this could be a clue. Celeste. Am I remembering this right? Ah! Aha! Okay. Oh hey, it's a computer. Never really used one before. I have no idea where the power switch is on this thing. Drat! I think it was my plan to use this to somehow get out of here. Ugh, locked, of course. Doesn't look like I can use this card to open this door. Little hole at the bottom of the door. Just a little skinnier, then maybe I'd be able to crawl through here. Through there. It's so dark in here that I can barely see, but these kind of feel like videotapes, all of them. Just what kind of room is this? I don't know, surveillance room? I don't know. Dish. What is this thing, an antenna, I guess? This is a VCR? Sure, there's a lot of electronic gadgets here. But what does an antenna do here? Oh, this simply will not do. I cannot have you wandering around at will. Ah! It seems that though Mr. Wright is truly concerned about you. He is? But now, I would suggest you remain cooperative. If you cannot, there are ways in which I can help you. Ways? You mean... Dead men tell no tales, is how the saying goes, correct? Dead? I'm almost certain I told you on our first meeting I am an assassin. No way! You're lying! I mean, an assassin? People are not always who they appear to be. Yay! March 22nd, 7:04 p.m. Hottie Clinic reception. Nick? Huh? Oh, yes, Pearls? I got caught up in my thoughts about my situation. Mr. Edgeworth has left, you know. I guess for now I have no choice but to believe in Mr. On Guard. But I think I should listen to his story one more time. Alright, let's get going too. Okay! Well. Oh, hi! You're still here. Let's go to the detention center then. Back to Mr. On Guard. Visitor's room. I'm sorry, but visiting hours are over for today. Aw? Ah. I have too many questions I need to ask. I'm sorry, but I'm Phoenix Wright, a lawyer for one of the... Oh, you're Mr. Wright, you say? Oh, yeah, there's a message here for you. A message? It's from Matt on Guard. Here you are. What did he write? Is that something really important? I don't know. Well, let's see what it has to say. The Mr. Lawyer dude. Got something really important to tell you. God, I feel uneasy all of a sudden. Oh, Mr. Wright! So, actually, I have a favor to ask of you. I have this cat named Shu. I didn't put out a lot of food when I left the house, so he's probably pretty hungry. You think you could drop by my house and feed Shu for me, dude? My house is just a little ways down from the hotel, alright? This is terrible, let's hurry! We have to feed this cat! I'm sure poor Shu's stomach is growling by now. Yeah, I guess. That's not jammed into pocket. Oh, cat! Client's request is a request. Guess I should go check up on his cat. I guess Reutenfell... Hotel lobby? Which is in Gateway Harder Hotel? Oh yeah, Mr. Yank. Go look for clues. We had to, for Mystic Maya's sake. You shall not pass. Miss Holdbag! Don't devalue my name and turn it into a gasp, you spiky-headed pettifogger. Zio, I've been made to look like the bad guy again. Well, I did get a piece of gum from Edgy Boy, just as he promised. Wait. Son, I was right. Edgy Boy's hard all over me. It's all your fault. You've awakened a wild beast inside this whole bag. Arrgh. Miss Holdbag? Keep your hands off me. This helmet is airtight. No air's getting in, no air's getting out. Why do you keep putting it on? Don't think you can get me to move with silly questions. You're gonna have to defeat me if you want to get by. I'm not hearing this. I'm not here for you. I'm here so I can go to Matt on Guard's house. So I can feed his cat. Because his cat is probably a good boy. And for a girl. Or should I check on Guard Mansion? Living. Oh, it sure is dark. I'll go turn on the light. Dude has a motorcycle suspended in the air? Wow, so this is what a star's house looks like. Must be nice to be rich. Come on, Mr. Nick. Let's find Chew, the kitty cat. Chew! Oh, look at that. So I guess this is Chew. Oh, I love you, cat. Oh, Chew. Yeah. That seems like girls. Pardon me? Oh. Hi. You're here too? May I help you with something, mister? Oh, we're lawyers, actually. I'm Mr. On Guard's lawyer. The Masters? Then you must be Mr. Wright. Yes? Ah, it's a pleasure to meet your wonderful self. I am the family butler, John Doe. Really, John Doe? Nice to meet you. You must know all sorts of things about Mr. Engard, right? Honestly, sir, I don't believe my master is capable of such a foul deed as murder. And, anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the master or his affairs. Not typically butler-like, as it were. Mr. Doe, how long have you served at this residence? Well, sir, I would have to say, maybe about 1 year. And, anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of himself and his affairs. You know, I would have thought Mr. Engard the kind to have a maid over a butler. You know, honestly, same. I feel like you'd have some, like, I don't know, like 18, 19-year-old girl be his maid and have to wear the maid outfit, you know, the classic maid outfit. You know what? No, he would hire Kawakami. He would do it. I would hire Kawakami. Honestly, I would do it if I were rich and had a maid. I'd hire Kawakami. Too bad that's not a thing you can do because she's not real. That's sad. A teacher and a maid. What a very cute cat you got there. It is my duty to take care of him. The master rather fancies shoe. And, anything else? No, not especially. It is not appropriate for a lowly servant to speak of the family cat. Not that I don't need this piece of scrap paper anymore. Matt's note crumbled into a ball and thrown away. Well, I'm afraid I must take my leave of you. Oh, we should probably get going ourselves. Ah, so young and yet so already... Oh my god. And yet already so accomplished, a master of law. But there's also a lot to be proud of in being a butler, in charge of the house and all. Thank you for the compliment, sir. People are not always who they appear to be. Oh, if you'll excuse me. Okay, bye. Bye, shoe. A giant bicycle is flying through in the air. That bicycle, Pearls, is... You don't have to pedal. It goes on its own. Oh, really? Wow. That's so disappointing you. It can't fly. Oh, that's too bad. What is that like? Like the I don't remember who he is. I have masks here. Yeah, the one in the middle is the Steel Samurai. Well, next to that is the Pink Princess and the Evil Magistrate. Fought many battles against the backdrop of Neo-Old Tokyo. Well, you really know a lot about the Steel Samurai, Mr. Nick. Well, I don't know whether to laugh or cry that I know more about that show than a kid. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it was a good show. Who cares? Interesting door. The small door at the bottom of this bigger door, Mr. Nick. I bet it's for Mr. Engard's cat to use. What, you mean chew? The door. It's locked tight. I guess that's to keep nosy people like me from entering it. I am suspect. There's a door over there. You shouldn't go wandering off over there, Mr. Nick. Yeah, Pearls. Now I know how Maya feels when I tell her to stop playing around. What? You don't want to just break into some dude's house? Oh, there's a giant cooking hearth here. What? That's actually a fireplace. Oh, I see. Okay. Very different, Mr. Nick. You know, I've never actually seen a hearth before, come to think of it. Come to visit St. Mary again. I'll show you one when you do. I'm somehow not surprised I have one. He's got a very nice place. Very comfortable and very spacious lounge set. I wonder if famous stars drop by and sit around and have a good time. In any case, I don't really belong here, do I? Ah, what was with me and feeling inferior today? I don't know, Phoenix. What is it with you and feeling inferior today? Alright, well, I'm glad we covered that up. Alright, Ha! You're a million light years too early to be asking me questions, Whippersnapper. Yeah, that's the only way I'm going to get any investigating with. First, do something about this kooky alien. Do I have anything I can present to her? I mean, there's a letter of introduction it has. Maybe that'll help. If I show her this letter I got from Earth? This old bag, if you would look at... Why, you want me to look at this worthless piece of... Edgy poo. Is that her perfume? Pheromone demure? I smell? Let's see here. Would you please allow this unsophisticated young person to conduct this investigation? Yours truly, Miles Edgeworth. Yours truly? That man's good at flattery. Fine. Only because Edgy Poo said so, you understand? Letter of introduction given to Miss Holbein. I just thought of something I had to do. Remember, no messing around. If you do anything bad and I won't let you off the hook. It looks like she has strong feelings for Mr. Edgeworth. That may be. You know, nothing's gotta come of it. Especially considering he's... mine. I have stronger feelings for Edgeworth. That's what I mean, Mr. Nick. Feelings are meant to be told and shared. You're right. Where's Edgeworth? How? Every time I talk about love, I always end up with a handprint on my face somehow. So, anyway, let's continue our investigation. Okay. Ah! What now? One little thing before I forget. You can't go into On Guard's room today. Why? The police's main investigation team is going to be in there all day, you hear? Yeah, right? I mean, to be fair, Pearl's brought it up almost every single time. I don't think he has ever brought up the feelings of love to anyone. It's always been her being like, oh, they love each other so much, even though they really don't. And he's got to be like, well, I don't know. And then she's like, but you shouldn't be upset, or you should be supporting love, because love is good. And then Phoenix is like, okay, sure. And that's how it goes. That's every conversation with girls about love. I mean, is that really a bad thing to do? Why would I want to? Regardless. I wonder if they're the team in charge of investigating the killer. So don't go in this! Set one foot in there and you'll face the wrath of Wendy Oldbag. I don't want to face Wendy Oldbag normally. The less I see of her, the better, honestly. For a second, get to hotel. Viola Hotel. So we're the only ones here. And yet, it does seem so busy somehow. Probably because the police team is scouring for clues about the killer. Alright. Watch for a second, get to hotel hallway. Oh god. Hey, city boy! Lotta, you're still here. Back in course! Investigative photographer eats and starves on her ability to snap up the scoop, yeah? And this hotel just has that aura of mystery. You know, like something's always about to happen. But, you have a camera? Forgiven. Photographer's gotta have a camera out at the ear like porn to be a real pro, you know. While I'm hanging around here. Speaking of cameras and feeding the mouth, do you have mine, Bread Thief? Why can't you drop that thief thing already? That's Henry? Henry? Who is Henry? What are you talking about? Henry? Who is Henry? No one has been named Henry. No, Larry has not been back yet. We haven't seen Larry at all this game. We have seen who is basically Larry, but if Larry were famous, which is my current client, but we have not seen Larry. Oh god. I want to ask you about the night of the murder. What, you really got good... Oh, you really gonna shell out the bucks for the info I got? Lotta, you were loitering in this hallway the night of the murder, were you not? Well, kinda, but... Brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes. I didn't exactly hang around here the entire time, you know? Followed a few stars around. Got a few autographs, shook a few hands, had a soda pop with a few of them too. Looks like she wasn't here the entire time that night. Apparently he also wasn't in the hallway the whole time either. Guess this means there's no one who can tell us who came and went that night. So, about the note that was inside your camera case. Oh, that ditty I wrote? Yeah, can I believe what you've written? You mean stuff about Ungod shoving his manager's lady on the corridor? Yeah. Ah, well, I reckon you best not be believing that. What? Look, I sort of wrote that on a whim, you know? writing whatever came to mind. Whatever came to mind. Ah, a true true journalistic integrity at its finest. I don't have any proof. I just kind of was like, hey, that sounds like it'd be a fun story, and then I wrote it, and that's how it happened. Yeah, when you get down to it, it's just a lot of random bull dooders. I've never heard that. That's funny. Hey, what's with you? Why you staring at me like my grandpa used to? Hey, why do you look like you suddenly got older too? I'm just shrinking here. Ah, my baby, my $1,600 baby! A red-coated prosecutor anyhow. Guy told me it was evidence and refused to give it back. Well, that's kind of how it is. Hey, you're that Redcoat's friend, ain't you? Put in a few good words and for me and give me back my camera. You want me to do what? Listen, I the guy real good for about 5 minutes, or about 5 hours, and I guarantee he'll give it back. Why don't you do your own dirty work? Well, I reckon it's time for me to get going. Tabloid photographer without a camera is just a tabloid, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Keep yourself together out there, you hear? I'm coming to see you in court tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you then. And you two there, little one. Keep the good work, okay? Okay. Don't be picky about your food now. Okay. Then make sure you do all your homework, you hear? Okay. If you have to find yourself a camera, make sure you bring it right to me. Would you please just leave already? That is exactly how I felt. Thank you. I was like, can you stop? Can you stop parenting not my child? God. Some people. Look at that giant bear. Get what I'll tell, Hotel. But Mr. Dick? What unreally ghastly moaning? A evil ghost! I don't think it's a ghost. Maybe it's a demon? Virgil! Excuse me, who are you calling a demon, brat? Ah? Zoinks! It's the alien! What are you calling an alien? Oh, it's just you, Miss Oldbag. What are you doing here? What is wrong with you youngins today? I came down here to pay my respects to my poor old Juan. You're disturbing me. Why are you here? Please talk to me about the night of the murder. Just one more time. I talked about it plenty at the trial. I was fooled, tricked, deceived by that photo of a photographer in a note. She was loitering around here with that imbecile look on her face. With that imbecile look on her face? Okay, got it. Now hold on a second there, you little pipsqueak. If you're gonna take notes, at least make me sound better than that. Oh, alright. Now I've seen everything. But you know, I was working that night too, doing my job, minding my own business. It wasn't like I had time to waste standing around here the whole night. I was wondering if you could tell me a bit more about Mr. Corden. He was the most popular star, you know, especially where it counts in my book. But I heard that he was lagging behind in the polls against Mr. On Guard. Oh, sorry, I'm allergic to her lying. Well, that's just a recent thing. Bad luck and all, you know. But he's gonna become an even bigger star than he used to be. Oh my god! Look, just look at this mountain of presents. To show the mountain of feelings all his fans had for him. Yeah, the mountain is pretty big and certainly nothing to shake a stick at. Mr. Nick? What is it, Pearls? Presents. They're all bears, right? She's got a point. There isn't a single thing here that isn't a bear. Well, maybe you just really like bears. Is that so weird? All of Mr. Corder's presents from his fans seem to be bears. Oh, that's because you can't think of one without thinking about bears. Bears? Why bears? You don't know? When my dear Juan was training, he fought barehanded with the bear. He refused to give in and let the bear win, but after the fight, they became friends. Wow, yeah, what a heartwarming story. Look, it's just it's just like in those young people's dramas. Let's see those two talk it out. Down by the river going, hey, you sure can't fight. You too, bub, you too. Did all that really happen? It was biography, bub. Poor little Croc. So ever since then, fans have been giving him bears as presents. Yeah, nice. Bears. I'm Uncle Bear, and I say it's barely 8 o'clock. What is that infernal racket? It's one of the presents going off. Sounds like it's already 8 p.m. Way past your bedtime. Yeah, that startled me. Thought I was gonna die for a second. 8 p.m.? It's the time when the award ceremony did that night, remember? I'm sure flies. Hard to believe it's been 2 days since the ceremony. The transceiver? Hello? Hello? This is not a foe. Maya, how's Maya? You haven't heard her, have you? It seems you were not able to fulfill your end of the bargain, Mr. Attorney. I've heard the news. So it would seem my present did you no good. No, Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! One more day, please. All I ask is for one more day. I'll get a not guilty verdict for sure this time. Please. I suppose if I must. I need that acquittal more than anything else, after all. Please. Please let Maya say something. I want to hear she's alright. Alright. What is with the static all of a sudden? Hello? Hello? It seems that... Connect. Damn it. Did the transceiver just suddenly break? Excuse me. What happened? I don't know. All of a sudden it became nothing but static. Ah, Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Why did the transceiver suddenly break like that? Should probably have an electronics expert look at it. The sooner the better. I don't know if I know an electronics expert, because... do you know anything with the card? I'm gonna say to delinquents like you. Is any way be helpful? Oh, then how about I tell you my measurements? I don't need to know your measurements. I really don't. Oh. I know, there's someone over at the police station. Right? Like maybe some of the criminal affairs department? Maybe we'll talk to them. March 22nd, police station, criminal affairs department. Wow, everybody's actually busy with something or other. They're probably strengthening the evidence for tomorrow's trial. Hey, hurry with that, will you? Pass the victims list around. You gotta be kidding, there's over 100 people on here! Mr. Nick? Is this guy really that big and bad of a criminal? Actually, Pearls? Never mind. It sounds like they're working on a different case. Okay, well, in that case... Man, look at these wonderful, beautiful, boxy computers. I remember those. On the detention center... What am I doing? Is Gumshoe here, or...? Hey, welcome back, pal! I thought I'd make you a little something for dinner. That's nice. Thanks. Rich man's luxurious full-course meal. Out of a can, that is. I'm sorry you went through all the trouble to cook, but I don't have time to eat. Oops, looks like you don't have a can opener, pal. Gotta be kidding. Here I thought he had already whipped something up. Oh, I know. There's one way I know how to be helpful. Yeah, see about anything you want, pal. Go ahead. Well, since he's here and offering, I wonder what I should try asking him about. Well... I guess I could... The transceiver. The transceiver? Oh, Miss Nick, you should ask Mr. Scrumpy Detective about that thing. What thing? Oh, yeah, this thing just up and broke all of a sudden. It broke, pal? When I was talking to the kidnapper, it just suddenly broke into static. Look, it sounds like this. Or something like this. I don't hear any static, pal. Huh? Maybe it fixed itself. That's strange. I'm sure it was making a loud static noise. Maybe. Maybe what? Maybe it was electromagnetic interference, pal. Oh, electromagnetic interference? So what is electromagnetic interference? It's something that happens when a radio wave gets mixed up with another signal, pal. Oh, when you put it that way. I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, for example, when a cell phone goes off next to a computer screen. Stuff on the screen gets kind of fuzzy and starts acting funny, right? Huh? Computer? It's like when you use the dryer next to the TV and the screen starts looking weird. Oh, yeah, the TV does do that. Okay, so that's what you're talking about. She seems amazingly happy at being able to understand this. So, the room you made when the interference to the transceiver happened. There's gotta be something in it sending out very strong radio waves, pal. Something like a listening device or something? Ah. Hey, speaking of that, where were you when it happened? We were in Mr. Corrier's room, seeing the murder. What? That's it, I'm doing this. Sneak into the precinct and getting the bug sweeper. I'll meet you at the crime scene later, alright, pal? Wait, Gumshoe? Oh, yeah, baby, it's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My fingers are itching to go. Yeah! You should be going too, Mr. Nick. Alright, let's go. Dang. Gumshoe, ready to go. I love it. Seeing Gumshoe hyped and happy, man. Oh, feels so good. It's nice to see Gumshoe not being upset or whipped or having his pay reducted. March 22nd, give it a hotel. Quarters Hotel. Hey, you're finally here, pal! Sorry to keep you waiting. Do you have the, bug sweeper? Well, you see. I got busted trying to sneak in, pal. And suddenly I'm standing at the precinct doors. From the outside, I mean. So, yeah, I couldn't get one of the police bug sweepers. What do you mean you couldn't get one? We need that item. Hey, calm down, pal. I didn't say I didn't get one. Just not the police's. Wow, so this is a bug sweeper? It looks a little broken. Hey, this was made when I was in elementary school, pal. Oh, by who? Me, of course. Seeing this brings back memories. Hey, don't look down on it, pal. Sure, it looks a little beat up. But I put my heart and soul into building this puppy here. My heart and soul? It'll work, trust me, pal. I'll do the job. But you can't set the sensitivity. So it's gonna beep at anything that gives off electromagnetic waves. But isn't it better that way? Well, anyway, since I brought it all the way, I might as well give it a whirl, right, pal? I'm getting that sinking feeling again. Okay, now I'll tell you how to use this baby. There's a listening device or some other sort of bug hidden in this room, pal. So we're gonna find it, right? Right. Now, first let's turn the sweeper on. Next, move the sweeper around and give the room a real thorough look-see, pal. The sweeper lets you know how strong the signal is picking up. So keep an eye on it, okay? Let's find something that's giving off a lot of radio waves. Press the A button to lock onto it. There's a lot of things here that could be given off, there's a lot of things here that's gonna be giving off radio waves. So let's take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious, okay, pal? Alright, I'm gonna go stand outside and keep my eye out. Give me a yell if you find the bug. Got it, pal? Whoa. There doesn't seem to be anything giving off radio waves there, Mr. Nick. You find the bug, so you can let's try again? This is the best. Well, make do with what you have, right? There we go. Lamp check. Listening device? No. There are a lot of lamps in this room, aren't there, Mr. Nick? Yeah. They're really all on. They're all on. You shouldn't do that, Mr. Nick. You know, don't you know it's wasteful? Yeah, I'll be more considerate from now on. Or conscientious from now on. Sorry. Lamp check. Listening device? No. A lot of lamps are all on. You should be, I'll be more conscientious, I swear. Another lamp. I mean, you know, might as well check them all, make sure. The TV. I don't think the listening device is in the TV of all places. I think the TV was left on. I'll show an old samurai movie. Yeah, Shadow plays all sorts of international movies as well as domestic ones. You know, every time I watch one of these old movies, I always think, wow, these Japanese stars are really good at English. Yeah. When I grow up, I want to study Japanese. I should probably keep my mouth shut here and not destroy her dream. Well, this device is in the air conditioner. Ah, Doc, his hair filter's covered in dust and dirt. Yeah. Come on, Mr. Nick, let's wash it. I wonder if being a neat freak makes even the tiniest dust bunny look colossal. What? Oh, nothing. Phone... I mean, I guess... Checking. Well, phone is the most common place for a listening device, I'd say. Let's take the receiver apart before we get ahead to ourselves. We get ahead of here. You know, how about electronics, don't you, Mr. Nick? Yeah, I know tons, especially when it comes to taking them apart. It's my specialty. I'll leave the fixing part up to the gumshoe. So, is there a listening device in there? No. And I really thought it had to be in the phone, too. What a phone? Cell phone. Nope, no bugs in here. Cell phone? What? I don't know what a cell phone is. I'm sorry, I've never seen one before. Unless she mentions it. My cell phone couldn't get any reception while I was staying at the Korean village. Rosa's never lived outside of that village, so... Well, I guess I can't say it's impossible to live without one. Oh, what a lovely bear! Ah! Ah, it's supposed to be one of those fancy bear-shaped toy robots. It's a robot? It's a real robot? Yeah, it's a real one. Mr. Nick? Yes? How many horsepower is it? How many horsies? Horsies? Well, look, it's a bear, so, I don't know, probably like 3. Yeah, obviously the radio's gonna give off radio signals. Anything weird over here? Not really. Just making sure, just checking everything. Gotta be thorough with this. Maybe it was on playing something. Oh, it's Kids Question Corner. Professor, why is the Earth round? Yeah, why is it, Mr. Nick? Why don't you listen to the radio program a little more, Pearls? It's because of gravity, that's why. Gravitational pull of the center of the Earth pulls all of the rock around it into a circle. Ah, that's a really delicious level of bread in here. It's been on keep warm all the time since the murder. Mr. Scruffy Detective always says, gotta keep the trail of the crime scene warm. I think the keep warm in that case is a little more metaphorical. I mean, that's a little strange. Why would a clock be giving up radio waves? What's this? It sort of looks like a hot water pot, but... Oh, well, it's kind of like a hot water pot, I guess? But instead of hot water, coffee comes out. Really? This pot can do that? Is there a pot that orange juice comes out of? I don't think there's anything like that, Pools. Sorry. Probably somewhere. Oh, why does this hot water pot has run out? I'll go get more water for it. Okay, sounds good. Just forgotten all about looking for the listening device. Check the laptop. Listening device on a notebook computer, huh? What's a notebook computer? You know what a notebook is? Yeah, it's a small book with paper that you can write on. So, well, that thing is like a notebook in a way. It's basically a small laptop. Nick, what's a laptop? We can have the conversation later. Alright, well... It looks like an alarm clock. What's wrong? Well, why do you look so troubled? I can't imagine the listening device being inside an alarm clock. Just, it sort of reminds me of something that happened a long time ago. Oh. Well, anyway, looks like the listening device isn't in here. Oh wow, really? I actually kind of expected it to be there. What's this? It's a small video camera. Listening device in this gizmo. They should make everything smaller and smaller lately, aren't they, Mr. Nick? That's what it seems like. But I want to grow bigger and bigger! No, eating only vegetables isn't gonna help you there. You eat meat too. It's a TV remote control, but it doesn't look like the listening device is in here. So I was thinking, what if the TV remote works on other things? Like, could I make you change your expressions like the TV channels? Zap! Hey! What if I could? One of the people I would give the old mute button to. Well, I don't think it's gonna work on me. Let me try it on Maya tomorrow, okay? Okay. I don't see anything giving off radio waves there, Mr. Nick. What are you talking about? It's a plain old calculator. It says 50 on it. Maybe he was calculating his allowance. A whole 50 cents? Maybe if he was a spirit medium. Please? No. Oh, the fridge. It says, refrigerator, right? I really don't think the listening device is something like this. Because it's filled with nothing but healthy vegetable juices, right? Yeah, sure. What's that to do with the listening device? It's gotta be one of the bears, right? It's the bag of potato chips. I must have missed something. The cooker, the alarm clock. Not the big bear. Maybe something over here then? Cell phone. Radio. Robot. And a bunch of lamps. Well, I really feel like it's the really big bear alarm clock, right? It's not in there. Where? What have I not looked at? I think I've looked at everything. Whoop. Excuse me? This is a nice teddy bear, right? Biggest one I have ever seen. Hey, so you guys find it yet? The listening device? I mean... No, not yet, but this bear's I use. Let's see. Perfectly normal stuffed bear with some really strong radio waves. Looks like you found the device to me, pal. Let's dig this big fella's eye out and see what we got. No, you can't. Such a violent act. Ugh. Oh! It's a miniature camera. And it looks like there's more. There's a transmitter and a timer. What emitter? Transmitter, pal. Oh. Is this more of that high-tech stuff? I don't know if I'd say that, but... So this tiny thing is a camera. Yep, it's a pinhole CCD camera, pal. It's a small high-grade video camera mostly used in security systems. So it's a video camera. It runs on a battery, which comes with it in a set. But there's no videotape in this camera. This is only the camera part here, pal. The tape recorder with the tape inside is somewhere else. Somewhere else? The footage is changed into radio waves and then it's sent to that recorder. So, it's sort of like a TV broadcast, isn't it? Hey! You know, you're right! I can't remember the court record. 8 PM for 1 hour. It's running with the sound of night. So, what is a transmitter? It's a device that sends the footage the camera took to a specific destination. It's like a video version of a listening device, pal. Looks like it's attached to a small clock-like thing. Ah, that's a timer, pal. You can set it to turn the camera on and record at a certain time with it. You can set it for a certain time? Yep. Let's see, this looks like it was set to start at 8 PM and go for 1 hour. 8 PM? What's the sound of the word ceremony with it? It's no date set, so it's been recording every night, I'd guess. Mr. Detective, how long has this bear been here? I'm pretty sure it's been here since the night of the murder. Then maybe his camera caught the murder on tape! What? And if you think about the angle the bear's at, bound to had a clear shot of the whole crime, pal. That's better out of the court record. So there was a camera in this bear's eye, and it was disguised as a present. And I'm sure it was here on the night of the murder, pal. It's pretty big, so it stands out pretty well in my mind. But who gave Mr. Karaita this present? I don't know, pal. But this means that someone out there's got a video of what happened here that night. Is there any way we can find out who this person is? Yeah, it's impossible, pal. The radio waves can be sent almost anywhere, so there's no way to find out. I mean, maybe my understanding of transmitters is wrong, but when you know, like, the transmitter is obviously setting to a specific destination, though. You could potentially, like, reverse engineer that. Right? Well, is there really no way to find out? That's fair to the court record. I got it! What? Hey, pal, let me borrow this mini camera for a bit. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go around to the electronics shop to see if I can find out who bought this. But that's impossible, and it's already 9 PM. Well, leave it to me. Even if I had to search all night, I'll find a man, pal. My camera and transmitter, give them to the deck, don't you? Oh yeah, baby, it's investigating time. I'm on fire, pal. My finger's itching to go. Yeah! He's gone. Yeah. Mr. Scruffy Detective sure is a nice man. He's pushing himself so hard, all for Mystic Maya's sake. It's a mystery how you always manage to do things in the most inefficient ways, right? Ah! You'll have to excuse me, I had a conversation just now. Edgeworth! What are you doing here? In a hotel room of all places? Oh, I mean, you know what they say. Pearls, you wanna go... here's $20, go hang out at the arcade! The rescue team has been created and deployed. I can't say I'm optimistic, but we have to move forward, one step at a time. I see, thanks. Don't thank me yet, we still have to find her. So there was a spy camera hidden inside the stuffed animal, huh? Oh, one lucky man, right? You know the stuffed bear, little girl? I have no idea. Of course not. I'll make her dispose of a very expensive luxury brand from overseas. It's completely handmade and only a small number of these are exported here. What? The camera and transmitter that Scatterbrain Detective took with him are dead ends. Things like those can be bought anywhere. However, this bear is different. By tracking how it got into this country, this bear can tell us who the buyer is. Can you really do that, Mr. Nick? Can he really? Well, I guess so. It's 9 PM. I think I could still make it in time. I'll be taking this for now. I'm sure you have other things you have to do. That bear snatched up by Edgeworth. See you soon, right? Wait! What? Why are you doing this? I have no interest in explaining myself to someone who cannot comprehend. But besides that, right? Until court reconvenes tomorrow, you should concern yourself with this question. Who was the person that murdered Juan Karaida? The real killer? Do you really still think it was Adrian Andrews? To be honest, I don't know anymore. You still have a little time left. Find the truth, right? Everything begins with the truth. Juan Karaida's real killer? Miss Andrews' past? The kidnapper whose sole condition is an acquittal for Mr. Onguard? And this card. LED killer. Maya, the only way I can save you now is to find all the answers to this case tonight. I don't understand what your real intentions are, Edgeworth. But as you said, all I can do for now is find the truth. Oh my god! Dang. I hope we can find it. That would be helpful. Alright. Keep going. March 22nd, 9:14 p.m. Get Gateway Hotel. Fortis Hotel Room. It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? Wonder. I wonder if Mr. Edgar has already found Mystic Maya. Seems like time. I'd say probably not. Well, these are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her, so don't worry. And if you can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. Well... So the real person who killed Mr. Corda was... an assassin, Mr. Sight's killer, right? And the car in Los Angeles found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then the new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who was his client? I mean, who asked for the murder? That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood. But whoever this client is, they're still the killer. Who could have hired the assassin? Ugh. Do you think it was Miss Andrews? No wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself? But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then... well, it can't be. Not on guard himself. Oh! On guard himself. And Mr. Ongar really did hire the assassin. He was not innocent at all. Far from it. He would be guilty of the crime. But that can't be Mr. Ongar, right? I mean, when we first talked with him... Mr. Ongar, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Carino? Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Carino, okay? I don't see any psych blocks at that time. Actually, that reminds me. Did you remember something, Mr. Nick? Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. So what is this interesting thing? Oh, that's right. You didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Wanna bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year? If he lost the Grand Prix, he's going to make sure Matt was going down with him? That's what he thought anyway? It looked like somehow Juan had his hands... Oh! I can't read! It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Mr. Onguard's secret? What is the secret? I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Corda was going to reveal this secret. That means... Mr. Onguard had plenty of a motive. Mr. Corda... Then Mr. Corda silenced. Jeez. Which means we have to move Mr. Onguard. There's no way around it now. Wow, it's getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already. But we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. So the matter of the secret Mr. Corda held about Mr. Onguard, and Miss Andrews' real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight. I'm visiting hours over at the detention center? Don't think it's something, Pearls. Don't you worry. Okay. Well, let's head over there. Oh god, not old back again. Hey, wait! What is it, whippersnapper? I know it's nothing that... Oh, no. I know it's nothing that has anything to do with you and it's ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device, but who knows what reason. I was told to use it to search the whole hotel. That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? What gumshoe did. I don't know, and frankly I don't care, but the request came from Edgy Poo, so... That's right. He said... If you Feel angry. Direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. But I'm gonna feel free to direct all my anger towards you. Gee. Thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. It's actually top secret, so you better keep it to yourself. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of those presents. Very interesting. I'm sure it was, you know. It was to catch poor Juan in the middle of his scandalous meetings. Scandalous? What's that? That means, well, you know, the gossips that's been going around about my dear Juan. Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews? I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Corridor. Oh my god! I'll let you in on another secret, youngin'. I know who planted that spy camera. It was that obnoxious puffy-head photographer girl. The nerve of some people. Spying on people by yourself, as if it wouldn't... As if... As if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too. Wow, Lillian actually admitted her true intentions for a change. I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I can... but I can bet that it's nothing good! What I'm saying. Oh my god. You wanna know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, there was something of a refreshing pair, those two. Oh? I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard. That manager? What are you talking about? You don't know? The manager woman Juan had? It's a shame she killed herself, though. Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impacts. Messenger's mentor, right? Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl! She was supposed to get married, you know. Married? You mean to Mr. Corda? Ah, really, you young kids don't know anything, do you? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after the marriage announcement. 3 days after their marriage announcement? What the? Why did Miss Impacts want to kill herself? She was going to get married. Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan. What? But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right? They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage. Is that true? It was the weekly magazine. But why? Why did he do that? That was not in the magazines, unfortunately. I see. That night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager Celeste killed herself. How terrible. It was terrible. What really happened between those two? Alright, well... Hotel lobby. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. Guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. Looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. The Nickel Samurai, that's who he was. Alright, you didn't get that from the criminal affairs, right? You sort of ends in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened. You're Miss Rangoon's lawyer, right? Yes, sir. Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness. A decisive witness? You mean for the on-guard case? We're taking the witness's statement right now. Got a payment for Mr. Edgeworth. What's Edgeworth up to now? Who is this witness? I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer. Mr. Nick? The kidnapper's demand, and now this? I can't see any way to win here. Oh, yeah. Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something. He did? Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission, so there you go. What? I've already called them, so they know. Oh, I gotta talk to you, Hearts Content. Thank you very much. Such good news, Mr. Nick. We'll talk to your Heart's Content. What are the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. Good, because they do. And my client is innocent. Alright. Sure, they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. That means that both Mr. Unger and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. And the new story I want to hear. Ooh, well, let's talk to Matt, I guess. Dude, it's Mr. Right! Maybe you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so too. Oh. I think it's just dropped a bombshell thing by saying. But Juan Corrida was killed by an assassin. The assassin's client is this man, not on guard. What's wrong? Mr. On guard? There's something I best know with 100% certainty. You seem kind of different. You're something like a usual lawyer dude self. About the press conference. You mean the one where her mom's gonna dress up as the Nickel Samurai? Yeah, I heard a little more about it from Miss Andrews. It looked like somehow Han had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Could you please fill me in on what this secret is, please? Oh my god! I knew this was coming. Mr. Nick, don't tell me. Cyclops. You said a secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude? Or do you, dude? Did you know about Mr. Corda and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Corda. Her mentor was Mr. Corda's manager. Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Impact's a suicide note for him. Celeste? Such agony memories? Dude, I saw you just got totally hungry. You up for a pizza? My treat. Mr. Nick, what's a piazza? Is it a kind of pea, like green peas? Let's get one later, okay? I got caught up by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Strong guard. Are you connected to Mrs. Peck's suicide in some way? Ooh. I don't know. Before we even deal with that, let's see if we can talk to her. Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me? Uh-oh. Mr. Powers? What happened? Why are you here? You see, I got roped into this somehow. What? Now I'm going to testify tomorrow's trial. So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers? I was talking with a detective until a little while ago, and it was on my way home. And all of a sudden, you there! You under arrest! I was brought back here. Oh. You said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something. Well, I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious. There's a normal guy at an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime? No, it's not. So about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about? Yeah, I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me. You saw something important? What was it? Well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, especially not that lawyer, he said. What do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's me. Yeah, you got it. So Nick, Sigma and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's alright. Ouch, I don't have a lot of friends, do I? Nonsense! There's Edgeworth, there's Gumshoe, there's Larry, so anyways, this is gonna do a lot of damage to Matt, you know. He's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going. But what is he really like? Well, let's see. That's always been kind of a player with women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. You know, we say, it's just a game to justify himself. What? How horrible! That's unforgivable! Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. But, you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world he won't swoon over me. Or who won't swoon over me. One person who wouldn't swoon over him? His manager, you know, Miss Adrian Andrews. Why is Miss Power suddenly looking kind of energetic? Gossip. Oh. You see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. Celebrities in the world have this dazzling sort of image, right? The dazzling sort of image, but aren't you a part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers? No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen. No, that's true. Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? Miss Andrews' mentor and your suicide? You mean Miss Impax? Yeah, something about how her wedding was cancelled. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day. About that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why didn't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead. Powers are so charged up, his skin is practically glowing with electricity. Sure. Hey, so have you heard this? So let's let the suicide note. They say that one went and hit it. We heard about that in court today. There wasn't any actual proof that she left it, no. Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is. Something bad for Mr. Corrida? Why do you figure so? Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. She said, it looks like I got caught up with a truly insidious man. A truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Corrida by that? No, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? That would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note. I see. That's some good info, thank you. You're welcome. Thank God, and Miss Andrews. We'll have the detention center right now. There's still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. Back to the detention center. What do I want to hear? Let's talk to Adrian. Miss Andrews. Tell me everything you know! Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I actually have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was mad. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about the secret Mr. Corda had of Mr. Ongard. Alright then. I'd like to ask about your... I'd like to ask you about Matt Ongard, if you don't mind. You're right. You still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. There were a lot of resentment towards Mr. Ongard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? Why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing. I don't know if I believe that, but okay. About Miss Celeste Impact. I finally put her death behind me. And now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide, and it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back and to burn it. I wanted to burn it? But why? I didn't want it to spread just like an... I didn't want it to spread like just another piece of gossip, but I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid. The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why did you try to frame Mr. Ongard? That's simple. Because he's the killer, that's why. It's the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But... it had to be another way. Police are excellent at doing their jobs. They'd figure it out, right? Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death. Miss Andrews? Well, I'm not the type of person to do something without a reason. So please, tell me why you did what you did. Revenge. Huh? Did you say something just now? One lock. The second lock, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. But... I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say... revenge. I don't know if I know. I mean, I guess I could probably get through it. There's one of them, but I don't actually know right now. So I guess I'll go ahead and get out of here. I guess back to Terminal Affairs. Oh. Mr. Nick, your phone! Hey, this is still Sandmite theme song, isn't it? I don't like the sounds of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous. Yeah, I know. Yeah, hello? We're in trouble now, pal. I'll be back at the office way soon. What's wrong? Something really unexpected just happened. Mr. Edgeworth, Edgeworth? Anyway, hurry up and get back to the office, pal. I don't know what's going on anymore. It's no good. Oh, good. Hello? He got cut off. What's going on, Mr. Nick? Don't you say we need to go back to the office right away? And we should hurry back. I'm scared to go back. What are you talking about, Mr. Nick? Put yourself together. Maybe it'll be good news. Somehow I doubt that. I also doubt that. Let's go back to our place. March 22nd, right in Cobalt offices. What took you so long, pal? Mr. Edgeworth couldn't stick around forever. I had to go. Well, what happened? Well, we got him. We know who bought that spy camera. Eh? This quickly? And this bear's what gave them away, pal. The bear? I figured it out, pal. I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera. But... what's that, Mr. Edgeworth? Shh, Pearls. And go on. There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime. Who is it? It would be so rude as to spy on a person on their own. Mad on God. Huh? Mad on God, your client? That's who, pal. Here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was... I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. It says the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuff there. Receipt? What you have? Nah, it's just the receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me, I'm sure I sold that bear to Mr. Ongard. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Ongard's autograph out of it, pal. So, I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Ongard himself. My sight is failing me. This can't be. Credit card receipt out of the court record. So what about the spy camera we found? That was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you for, you to file away into evidence. My camera transmitter and stuff. There, we filed into the court record. I know you don't want to give up, pal. I never thought. I didn't think it was possible. First to put the spy camera in one part of his room was Mal on guard. Why would Mr. On guard do something like this? I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Cord on one of their rendezvous. Like that? It's not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera. You gonna see him, Mr. On guard, I mean? Yes. I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder. I don't know what you'll find out next. I'm scared myself, but I put on a good face for Pearls. Not on guard. What in the world have you done? Alright. Well... we'll talk to Matt then. Oh. You're working really late, you know. It's already past 10 PM, dude. I think it's time you told me the truth. Relax. Don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you're about to know, let's talk. Alright, Juan. I don't know if I have everything. But we're gonna find out. Matt's secret. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Karaida had been successful in his plan? What would have been disclosed? I told you before, dude, I don't know. What do you think about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on, I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Corda, especially on that night. Spy camera. Yeah! Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Corda's room the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow, but... dude, there's the camera you're talking about hidden. And a bear. The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. The bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. Huh. I guess Mon had a few of those kinds of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure did? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Corda was... It was you! I don't know if I believe that, though. I don't know if I believe he's the one that gave it. Mr. Engard, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. But he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He said the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Engard. If I didn't know how you work in court, I think I was in some serious trouble. Come on. It's all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, you have any proof you want to show me first? Here's proof that it was you that put the camera inside the bear. Well, this doesn't prove he put the camera in there, it just proves that he bought the bear. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Engard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, all you can tell from that is that I spent $3,800. I go to the department store all the time, okay? This $3,800? This could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush? It's ivory. It's got elephant hair for bristles. Ew. Elephant hair? Is that what people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you shouldn't have said that. You should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing? Yeah? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's not talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set this camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid the camera in Mr. Porter's room and filmed it in secret is... Ooh. Do we really push the card? I don't know. Well, it might be safer to go for... yeah, the gossip. That's what I'll do. Yeah. Agent Andrews? There's a rumor going around. And Miss Andrews and Mr. Corda were having secret meetings. You, who was keeping tabs on Mr. Corda, you were going to reveal this as fact and turn it into a scandal, is that right? Dude, you can be such a moron. Huh? Oh man, Mr. Lawyer, dude, that kind of scandal? That's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy. The good stuff? Juicy? Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny with that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude. Too bad that wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy Mr. Corda because of Miss Andrews. Then, there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set up the camera in Mr. Corda's room was... Ooh, probably the card though, huh? Yeah. What is this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelly D. Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelly D. Killer? That's ridiculous! Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Mad on guard. I know why you know Mr. D. Killer. It's because... you're a hero of justice! You're his client. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's Because you're his client, that's why. You hired Chili the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Corrida. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is... you! Not on guard! And here I was, trying to be a good boy for you, dude. But if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. Mr. On Guard. You really did hire? Hold on a sec, I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. What? I don't know how to take this. What? Huh? What? Excuse me? Did this man really just hit me with the Twisted by Starkid? Did he really just hit me with that? Also, for anyone that likes musicals, especially Aladdin, I highly recommend that one. That one's really good. It's really funny and also just really good. It's just good. It's a really good musical. Go watch Twisted. I'm not sponsored by Starkid by any means, but man, their musicals are great. Go watch Twisted. You can literally find it for free on YouTube. Buy that. Like, they posted it for free on YouTube. Go watch it. It's good. Highly recommend it. Do that after the stream, but go watch it. It's really good. Anyway, they hit me with that. What is going on, though? How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm not on guard. What is this? What is this? What happened? Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You partially the killer's client? You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? That woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself. Trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. All I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? That's lying. What a terrible... Way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. So why? Why did you hide the video camera and... Weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. You know about Miss Andrews' secret? But I'm no weakling, I don't believe anyone. Least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why? Yeah, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay. Even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl? Oh, God. I regret everything I've said about him being cool looking. I mean, his design is still really cool, I won't lie. That jacket is sick. I want one. Why did you come, Mr. Cora? Because he was about to sling so much dung out of my beautiful public image. Those are a little annoying, aren't they? It's all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Carter had been able to get it, then Mr. Guard's secret would have... well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know? No interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit it crept up on me. The situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Carter ended up dead. Let me tell you about something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on a sweet innocent face and people swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. He's assassin too. Oh, and how could I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone all working their butts off for me, mad on guard. Oh, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You're going awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Carida. You mentioned very clear that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey, now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that D-Killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a cat nap in my room. You killed Mr. Carida! I need to say that in court tomorrow. But too bad. Can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You can always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? But you can't, can you? That would be the one thing that you absolutely can't do. Mr. Maya. You wouldn't want to test D-Killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. That's a weird way of saying it, but okay. You scoundrel! So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. That's such a cliche phrase. It once said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how things turned. We all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Maya, what am I supposed to do? And now, we finally found it. What happened? The starting line of this case. Edgeworth. I don't care for the horde atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. March 22nd. Police station. Criminal Affairs Department. Well, right, what are you going to do? You plan on changing your strategy? No! We can't do that. That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth? Right. Only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't really understand what a prosecutor was. That is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, right, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who's clearly a killer, not on guard, the man is really... It doesn't matter who, every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. You know the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? What exactly is that? So where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? I don't like that you of all people should say such a thing. Not exactly how you have fought for your clients up until now. Well, that may be true, but that's because I've believed my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But try to get on guard and acquittal. That isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But look at this mess we're in. I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I'd still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. You're right. You get a hold of yourself, you have no wrong. No? We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone. That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? That's... You are a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. People like you and Francisco von Karma was using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict, for a man I clearly know to be guilty. And Siska, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. And isn't it the same as you? Is that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You're so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken. What are you? Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as perfect win records are meaningless. What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then why? Why are you here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story. Mr. Nick? The transceiver. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, you wager you could obtain an acquittal tomorrow. My, what is the matter, Mr. Attorney? Don't sense your usual anger this time. Tell me, please. Why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Engard's sake? Why are you doing this for that cold-blooded killer? Right. Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client. Don't toy with me. A man who is an assassin is just as much of a killer himself. I don't know if you're asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I am. Yeah. This is what I like to call my aftercare. What the heck is aftercare? My name carries a certain amount of honor and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my clients for my handiwork. That is what is called client relations, and it is part of an assassin's duty. An assassin's duty? We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney. And to ensure that you would do everything in your power to the very end. What is your name? I believe I told you once before, however. You did, but my name is the Killer. Shelly the Killer. No, Shelly the Killer. Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a D-Killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail to keep up your end of the bargain, Maya, it would be my duty as an assassin to see it that... It would be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a nice long nap. Ah! No! Now then, if you'll excuse me, if someone were to trace the signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome. Missing Maya! I don't know what to say. Edgeworth! Did you hear that? The end of the transmission. Oh, that sounds like a cat. A cat? It can't be a cat, can it? What is it? I think I know where Shelly the Killer is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all police units head for On Guard Mansion immediately. Alright, you hurry over as well then. Don't lose hope yet, Pearls! The fight has only just begun. Yeah. Oh my god. Living room. Watch for a second, I had mentioned living room. Maya! Is that Christmas, Maya? In this area completely surrounded, there is no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still in the area. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer? And then God, we're working together all this time. I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time. The bear moved. Why did the bear move? There's a small door at the bottom of this bigger door, Mr. Nick. That's for the cat to use. Oh, you need shoe? God. This is probably where he conducted business with the killer. Yeah. I think the killer values his client relations more than anything else. I'm sure he must meet with his clients in person to talk about any transaction. Thanks, I guess. Oh, the bear self. Oh, it's a figurine of a bear. But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason. Figuring out of the court record. A wooden bear-shaped figurine that's covered in many thin cuts. A bear? Is there a thing for Mr. Corda? How does something like this be here? Right, look down. A little pet door installed here. Ah, I'm dressed for shoe. Do you think that this came through that little door? This door. It's locked. Well, I'm used to breaking doors down by now. Let's go, Edgeworth! Aha! Ah, there's no one here. Looks at this room, I would say this is on guard's private lounge. Look at this right. An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals, and a VCR. Check inside the deck. There's a tape. It'll be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, we'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it. I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found. No. But there's no mistake that someone used this to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it. It's in guard's computer. Maya, I think I should use this to get any help. Mr. Eric? Where's the power switch? Oh, I get it. So that's what happened. You couldn't find the power switch. What, so you're not gonna turn it on? It's VCR and an antenna. What about the spy camera checking the scene of the crime? It was beamed here and recorded on tape. If only had that tape, it would have been really helpful. Huge television and speakers loom largely here. I'm sure if Maya saw this, she'd say, "I'd die a happy samurai fan if I could see the Nickel Samurai on a TV like this?" Yeah, that's what she'd say. Ah, I can't believe I just made a joke about Maya, all things considered. That is a very large surround system. It's a very small table. I thought we could barely squeeze 3 pearls in there. But it wouldn't sit on a table to begin with, Mr. Nick. What a spacious sofa. 10 pearls would fit on here. I don't think 10 of you would fit, Mr. Nick. Can't read all of the labels, but it's a very large collection of videotapes. It's like on guard taped all of his own shows. There's a little door for shooting this big door. I'm sure Maya used to sort of shove this out there. I'm sure it was her. Every time you give me some piece of evidence, it's always the most crucial piece. This time too, I'm sure. They're still over, but looks like he got away. I'm sorry. It looks like he stepped out of our grasp this time. And now, we lost our only lead. Don't give up yet. The little girl is looking to you to be her pillar. Yeah, you're right. We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us. Maya. This looks like a picture of Miss Impax. With love, Celeste? Miss Impax? You mean... Yeah. Mr. Corda's former manager. Why did the picture of Miss Impax be here Mr. Unguard's mansion? What does it say with love? This might be a clue. With love, Celeste. It was written on it. Ah! What's wrong, Pearls? Please let me see that picture frame. Huh? What's so special about the frame? On the back! There's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. It's just like Maya showed us a message. What? I thought you'd come, I knew you would. Now listen up. Better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? You get that creepy slime bag, not guilty, I'll never forgive you, ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Curly, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's gotta watch out for the helpless lunk. That's it for now, Nick. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. That's No! Missing Maya! Right. What's wrong? Why the blank stare? Oh, nothing. We've searched the house, and this is the last room. Looks like he eluded us. Edgeworth. Yes? As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm going to get. But, still short one last thing. And what is that? Messenger's signal. You just find out what secret she's holding. And I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. Will this case wide open and expose the truth? I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Well, let's go, Pearls. It's time to open up that last lock. March 22nd, detention center. Visitor's room. Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews? I've come to remove your psych lock. Psych lock? I want to know, and you will tell me. Your secret. Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can. Alright. I didn't remember this was bad, I'll be honest. Not Matt on guard, wasn't it? Right? Like that. Yeah, why frame him? Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, why frame Matt? Can you please tell me why you framed Matt on guard for the murder? I already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. On guard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews. One who lives by being dependent on other people. There's something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. It's gotta be Celeste, right? Oh hey, John Doe's been added to our thing. That's cool. I can't think of anyone else. Yeah. Celeste? There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings and even revenge. This Miss Impax's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hid her suicide note was also Juan. What does this have to do with Matt? You're right. You haven't mentioned him, yet. But for you to hate Mr. On Guard, it would mean that he must have had some relation to Miss Impax and her suicide. Can you explain this relation between Celeste and Matt? That would be... the photo. This. This is a photo of Miss Impax, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love, Celeste. This is Miss Impax's handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, that's alright. It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. On Guard's mansion. And after all this time, this remaining secret has been revealed. Oh my god. Man, we are getting through this faster than I thought we would. So I'm in a bit of a weird spot. Well, I mean, I don't know. Celeste. She was supposed to get married to Juan. Yes, but I heard that it didn't work out. Because Mr. Carter didn't want to get married to her anymore, right? Yeah, because of Matt. Because of Mr. Longard? What do you mean? I think I can see where this is going. Yeah, he probably went all womanizer on her, and then she cheated on Juan, and Juan was like, "Oh, you cheating! I don't want to get married anymore. Maybe can be hit." It was like, I don't know. Or it was way worse. Celeste, she was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at that time. I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why. With love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture. They were a couple, weren't they? Or they were a couple, weren't they? It wasn't anything as funded as that. Celeste was being used. toyed with until she was thrown away. It's so horrible. It is. Imagine the entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios. And that is where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Also, Juan was such a good match, and they were even planning to get married. And then it was suddenly called off. Well, that night, Juan called their marriage off. Celeste killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. This adventurous a lesson for myself. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see. So that's what happened. But... oh, why did Mr. Cord have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all. And it's probably because of his worthless male pride. Well, and Matt were always fierce rivals. I waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. I was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. What are my impacts? That was the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left a suicide note behind. And in that note was a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds, and she would never again be hurt by Matt, who chose to die. Then, when Juan discovered her body, he hit her note. But why would he do that? It's simple. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt. It would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case. With his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge? What's that word again? Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was... at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it, because I heard it all from Juan. It was so I could find out about all this that I grew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night when I found Juan's body, it's only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. We're always spying on one another, after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it, and I had even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note. And that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring them my own cruel revenge. Les was killed by those two monsters. And when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. That's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, you're knowing all this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession. Thank you very much for your time and talking with me. It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway. I can't sleep either. Not with Maya's situation. Or with what I know now. Ooh. Alright, we're at a weird impasse. We could choose to go over and do the trial. Or we could save it for tomorrow. But that does make this stream a little on the short side. Oh, God, I don't know what to do about that. It's such a weird position to be in. Right? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what to do here. I think... oh, God. I have a feeling this trial is going to be very long, though, right? It's the final trial. There's no way it's not, like, absurdly long. So, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, it's gonna be interesting, right? We got Powers testifying, and our goal is basically going to be to prove what happened, so we can get both D Killer and uh oh god, Matt on guard, put in jail for their crimes. I don't know. I really don't. You know what? Here, I think we're gonna call it here. We'll finish it tomorrow. Keep up with the plan, right? That's what we initially set out for. Um, and I mean, I don't know, because it's such a weird position. So, for all I know, it could be like an hour long. You know, we could have nothing. You know, it could be very short, and then we'll just I don't know, we'll just do something else. We'll just like play Strive or something. I don't know. But I'm just gonna end it here. My throat's kind of sore anyways, so it'll be nice to give it a little bit of a break. What from all of this big action and emotion that we had to go through today. So we will finish it up tomorrow with the final trial, the last day, and the last case of Ace Attorney 2. And then go through the credits and whatnot. And then hopefully that takes about the same amount of time. I actually don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm still like, maybe it'll be short. There's not like a lot, right? They didn't get a whole bunch of new evidence. Well, maybe you got a pretty decent amount of new evidence. But I tell you, we got like a lot of new evidence, right? So maybe it's not that big of a deal. You know, right? Maybe we could do that, but I don't know. You know, we'll end it. We'll end it, and we'll finish it up tomorrow. That's what we'll do. I just hope that it's not going to be a short stream. I really don't. But VODs exist. There's channel forum. There's links and stuff. Exclamation point VODs. Take it right there. They'll go up the next day at noon EST or EDT. I don't actually know what the proper statement for that is anymore. Because it's changed like 2 or 3 times in the entire time I've been alive. Well, not really. It's only changed like twice. But like I see it written both EST and EDT. I'm always confused because I don't know what's up with that. But it's the same thing, just Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, that's that. Thank you to everyone who stopped by. So hi, everyone who watches the VODs. Appreciate all of you. You're all great. And I guess until next time, we'll finish Ace Attorney 2. This final trial done. It's gonna be somewhat intense, I assume. Probably, maybe. I don't know. So until then.